No?
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to another episode of Spectacular. We are a podcast that talks about movies and shit. As my co-host Mike just snorted a quick line of cocaine to give him a little quick boost.
Just a little bump, bro.
Yeah, just a little bump. Just on the pinky.
It's early. It's like 12:30.
We review movies and talk about, we review movies and talk shit, but mostly shit. That's not how it is. No, where does it go? We talk about movies and shit, mostly shit. There we go. I got it.
Well.
I'm also very
Someone
high
else
right now.
isn't throwing their fastball right now.
And of course, like I said, I am joined by my co-host Mike, and I am Brandon. And today we are talking about the 2021 movie Malignant. Is that Malignant?
Malignant. Why you keep adding an A in there?
I think I've added an extra I.
Yeah, I think I love vowels.
Malignant.
Nint.
Nint, yeah. Malignant. Malignant. Mike, tell us about that movie.
Well, at least you can spell. You didn't do any math.
Fuckyow.
Malignant from 2021, directed by James Wan.
He definitely has a niche.
A gal named Madison is paralyzed by shocking visions of grisly murders, and her torment worsens as she discovers that these waking dreams are in fact terrifying realities.
Gave away the whole movie right there too. That's the gist. Oh, I guess you don't know who Gabriel is, but for some odd reason he can communicate through electronics. I don't know how he gained that superpower.
I don't know. Well, hold on. Okay. So Annabelle Wallis, she's Madison. Maddie Hasson, whatever. Sydney, that's her sister.
I feel
Which
like
funny,
I've
her
seen
real
from
name
somewhere.
is her name. You know, she kind of looks like Florence Pugh to me.
She does, yeah.
So
yeah,
that's what it is. George Young as a Kikoa?
Yeah.
Kikoa?
Which I thought to that too. Like, this takes place in Seattle, right? And Kikoa, I thought that was a very unique name. I kind of made me think of like a Hawaiian name of sorts, but continue.
I don't know if this girl pronounces her name. It's like Nicole, but with an M. So I don't know if it's Nicole or Michelle.
Is that Regina?
Regina.
Which I think that's just like Wanda Sykes' fucking cousin or something like that. Because there's a few times they had the same exact like. What? You trying to tell me? Yeah, I was like, all right, like. And hairstyle was similar.
Well, apparently on... Yeah, whatever. Okay. Yeah, similar.
So, Malignant. Malignant. This movie was almost 2 hours of horror. And I was...
The horror was me having to sit through it.
Exactly. Yeah. When I started the movie and I saw 154, I was like, fuck me.
151, I thought.
I thought it was... It doesn't matter. Okay. 150 is too long for horror. Like, it should be like a comedy.
But see, it's not. Because, like... Hereditary was long, and Midsommar was long, and
but the thing about those movies though,
they're good.
So I'll just say it right now, Malignant wasn't bad.
Yeah,
and I typically don't like horror movies. It wasn't bad. It was unique.
Wait, we didn't even get into it. It's October.
It is. It's the month of Halloween.
The festive season.
Very festive.
Some would call it Spooktober instead of October.
Is that in your household of one?
Yes.
The sad household of tears.
When I'm sitting there eating a solo cup of noodle.
Mm-hmm. And you don't use water, you use beer.
Yeah. I don't even pull the whole paper off. Like it's just dangling there.
You attempted and then it didn't come off. You're like, whatever. And then you got like the sweat from when you microwaving it just dripping on your bare belly.
Yeah. Because
obviously you're shirtless.
Well, no. And then I dip the cracker into it, but then it gets too flimsy and it breaks off. And I go to just eat a sad little piece of cracker.
Perfect definition of your sad life. Mm-hmm. This movie though, we're watching it for scary purposes, being that Halloween's coming up, which I think that we're still going to watch the same movie that we said, because I've actually heard different things about that movie actually being reasonably fine.
Right.
So I think we should maintain that movie just for that super fucking scary movie though. It's scary. And so we'll tell you that one at the end.
Prepared to handle that one.
I understand, and I'm not. You like horror movies.
Luckily, I watched this at noon with the sun fully above my head outside.
It was erect.
Yeah.
Just
so I wasn't in the dark.
Well, just like when I watched
Alone, like we mentioned.
Correct. When I watched Hereditary, I watched that in daytime because I ain't gonna fuck with that at night. Like these horror movies, I will not. And this movie, again, Malignant, I didn't dislike it, which I kind of was going into this I had a vague idea of what I've overheard people say about it and stuff like that. I'm like, ugh, James Wan, and he's kind of like campy-ish with some of his shit. But like, I didn't think this movie was bad. I thought it was. I couldn't think of any movies that had something similar like this.
It's over the top.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
For some reason, I remember, and it was probably just because it came out pandemic-wise instead of theaters, and they put it streaming. Right? Is that what I read correctly?
Yeah. 21, yeah.
So there's a little bit of that streaming hype. I don't know if it was just certain stuff where it was like, oh, this should have been in the theaters, but now it's streaming, so everyone's like, oh, hey, cool, we can see the streaming. I don't know. Maybe I'm just misremembering that. But
sure.
I didn't watch it, but for some reason I couldn't remember why there was hype around it as we started to watch it. And then we started to watch it, and I was like, I don't like this movie.
Yeah. Well,
but then I remember, I'm like, oh, it's the end that everyone says it has hype, or it's like it was like extra violent or something like that. That's what I was kind of remembering.
That fucking police station scene was that action scene. I was like, what is this doing in here?
Yeah.
Like straight murdering everybody.
Well, it's like a horror Matrix. It's like,
yeah. And I was okay with it to the extent I was like, this is ridiculous. And I swear to God, it's one of my notes where is, what did I write? Is it ridiculousness?
I'm sorry, what?
Well, it's just that like that scene, this is very far into the movie, like the last 20 minutes. Right. And there's a scene where Gabriel... Well,
wait, no, we didn't even set up the movie. So Madison is having visions. I'm sorry, she's a pregnant lady.
She's pregnant. It starts the movie. She has a great husband.
Yeah.
And very standout guy.
Real piece of work.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah. He's very... I think he's... if I'm going to go on a limb here, I'm going to say he's a very kind, generous person that likes to also be...
Loving.
Very loving, like with violence.
Right.
Like he's very giving of
he loves using his fist.
Yeah. He loves using his hands, but in a closed fist manner.
Mm-hmm.
And also pushing to the extreme that you crack.
Some people like to high five their family members or hug them.
He likes to go straight for the good.
Yeah, he likes to push. Yeah, he also uses his hands to push them against walls.
That too. And then as you're going up for the high five, he goes low for a punch to the gut with your pregnant belly.
Yeah.
And so immediately, though, when she walks into that room and he's just laying there, I was like, this guy's a piece of shit. Immediately.
I like how he's watching
UFC.
MMA.
Yeah.
But I was like, as an avid fan, that's bullshit and also 100% correct because most of the fans are pieces of shit.
And he's
possibly not included.
Sure. He's wearing shoes on the bed.
Oh.
And that to me, I was like, what the fuck, man?
You know what? Your attention to detail normally gets on my nerves and I want to stab you in the eye.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. It's just, he's wearing like work boots on the bed.
Oh,
He looks oily as shit. Yeah. So it's like he had a hard day's work. He's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go watch some MMA on our bed that we sleep on. And I'm going to dirty it up.
I'm not going to turn on any lights because why would I do that?
Oh, that's another thing too about this movie is the lighting.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, why is it so bright in this? Like she has like
bright.
She had two lamps on, and she was like full lit in the front of her. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And then she turned away towards the lights at one scene, and it was darker. I was like, what? James Wan, I thought I knew you better than that. You know, you do these. Did he do Saw? He did one of the Saws, didn't he?
He directed the first one.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Did he do Annabelle?
No, but he did The Conjuring 1 and 2 and Insidious.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. Insidious is okay. Because I thought there was like when I thought this was it, but the dollhouse when she was a little kid. There's a shot of a slight dollhouse.
Well, I believe. Oh my god! Now I can't remember if it was Conjuring 1 or 2.
Either way, that
has
house
Annabelle.
Oh, in the background or something like
that.
that.
And then it was a spin-off of the Conjuring films.
But I think that toy dollhouse was a what's that?
Prop?
Well, not a prop, but like oh my god, why can't I think of this?
It's like a set piece.
Yeah, it's like the actual house. It's a remake of the house that was in that
model.
Yeah, like thank you, a model. Like it was exactly how that house. It's something like it was either The Conjuring or one of those ones that he's already done. That it was like, oh, that's a little Easter egg. But we have not even talked about them. So she's having these visions,
right?
And what else was it?
So awesome husband gets murdered.
Correct.
She gets attacked by some darkly figure, loses the baby, and then she continues to have ghastly visions of murders that are actually happening.
Grotesque.
And they involve her and her twin.
They were. I forgot what type of twins they said they were, but essentially just cut it out. Like they cut out the cancer.
So should we talk about the end already?
I mean, I kind of already said a little bit, so might as well. So Gabriel.
So Gabriel was, what we kind of thought was like, well, I kind of thought it was just like a voice in her head that manifests control over her.
Electricity for some reason, like radios and
also,
TVs, which makes no fucking sense.
Yeah,
which that be he's basically
force for some reason.
He's Electro in the James Wan universe.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a monster Electro, which is ridiculous.
That's why when she wants to have a private conversation, she drives out to the desert in Nevada.
Yeah, but then she has to get out of her car and walk like a quarter of a mile. Yeah. And then make sure she left her cell phone and she didn't have it. She has to walk back and put the phone back. Again, I don't know how he controls that.
And then it's nighttime, so she brings a flashlight, but then he starts to blink out Morse code, like, I'm gonna kill you. All right, take it easy, Gabriel.
Why did I bother to learn Morse code too? Like,
so anyways, so it's kind of, which is funny because it's kind of a reference, or the movie kind of references, at least that's what I read, and it makes sense, that there's like an orchestral version of Where Is My Mind, the Pixies song.
Yeah, I have that note.
Yeah.
Because it was I've heard the first few strings of it, and I was like, was that Free Your Mind? And then later in that same scene, they actually played it more, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Later, when I found out that it's like, oh, he's in her head, so Free Your Mind, so that makes sense.
Where Is My Mind?
What the fuck ever. And I put Free Your Mind. I'm not a huge Pixies.
It's not En Vogue, bro.
First of all, Vogue. No, that's
Madonna. God damn it, Brandon.
I don't know music that well. Remember when I impressed you with my Beatles, and then I just tried to stick with that, and I have failed miserably.
The thing you remind me of every other day.
Mm-hmm. At the moment
How
where
about that Beatles reference,
the moment
bro?
where you're proud of me for just that very brief moment. Gabriel though.
Oh, sorry. So anyway, you know how Tyler and Ed Norton are one and the same person in that movie?
Edward. So what were they? Tyler Durden and
he's just
okay. Go ahead.
I am Bob's whatever.
No, Tyler Durden has his. That was Tyler Durden was his name for Brad Pitt. What was the other guy's name?
He doesn't have a name in the movie.
They never
said
said
the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So anyway, so I thought that's how this movie was going, but this went like super over the top.
Very far north.
Where he's actually like a twin that didn't get resorbed, and he's like sticking out of the back of her head, and where they find when she was little, and they try to cut him out.
When they pulled that camera around,
yeah,
and I was like, what the fuck? And like it made me think of like Quado for the head.
Yeah,
like it was just
that's exactly what I thought.
Quaid. And then they're just let me just chop out this and this, and then
which actually doesn't make sense at the very beginning of the movie. Because they cut him off in pieces. He's not a being.
Correct. He's just a face.
So who are they tying up into the chair at the beginning of the movie? Or is that one of her dreams?
So no, that was her.
The very beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. When he kills like that nurse and
she's still connected to him.
Yeah, she's still connected.
Time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
And that's where like we gotta cut him out. Okay. That's why they cut off his arm and.
So it was her leg with the sock.
There. Yeah, the pink little sock.
Okay.
That's why
I didn't first. When it got to the end of the movie, I was like, wait, didn't they cut him off in pieces? How come he's a whole being?
So like
but it's still her.
Yeah, he had arms. He had like a rib cage. He had a face. And so it's funny because they cut off all the stuff except for the face, and they just kind of. I thought it was funny that they just like they're just pushing it in. Like use a little more grease in that woman, and just pushing her face and like. And then they just reseal her skull, and then but obviously when he takes over, his face emerges through that. So
the movie starts, and it's super campy.
It does, yeah. 1993, which looked so good. It was like 1993, and it's that's 1993. That might have been mini DV tapes. So it was probably high 8 tapes, but that was like crisp. Okay. That's why I thought that was a fun note. That it's like, man, that video quality is great. When in reality, that should really look like shit.
That's almost one of my issues with the movie, or maybe just his style, like in general. It's like. The quality of the film is like incongruous with the actual sets and the design of the movie.
Yeah.
So like, and maybe just because TVs are so good or whatever, I don't know what it is, but like this thing looks like crisp and clean, like on the screen. But like the houses, like it's always the same, not the same one, but it's always a just huge Victorian house for this one lady that she owns for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's so dark in there.
Huge house, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Like huge. Which I guess for the movie, she needs an attic.
Sure.
Right, with a huge fan to make you
think
that
What the fuck was that? I thought.
Well, that's supposed to trick you into thinking that
it's a different location.
That he has her still in that Seattle Underground area.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's her whole house fan, I guess.
Yeah, but it's not connected to anything. It's not connected to anything. There's no duct to anything, so it's not. Yeah.
Like normal houses have the little
Yeah,
This
the metal one on top. Yeah,
This movie has the fan from Daylight that Sylvester Stallone has to crawl through to get down to the people in the tunnel.
that's a deep cut.
That's a deep
cut. I don't think many people that are listeners have seen Stallone's Daylight. Wasn't Daylight the one with Christian Slater? No, is that Hard Rain? I'm thinking Hard Rain. When it's like the whole town is flooded.
I just made the reference.
Okay.
And you have to question it.
Yes. Anyhow.
Wow.
So again, though, that part where you find out that that's the mom, which earlier in the movie when he kidnaps that woman, I was like, who the fuck is this? Because they don't say who, they don't say what. And he's like, oh, don't you fucking dare try to get out of here. But like...
Which I don't mind, because that's always an issue with movies where people talking like ridiculous exposition. Like, hey, I'm your brother, man. Why do you got to treat me that way? Like, having to spell it out.
Remember back when we were 12?
Back when we
did this? Yeah. Utes. Just really quick. I watched My Cousin Vinny again recently. Ooh. That movie's so fucking good.
It's fucking super good.
I love that movie. It's probably, if I had the, there's no particular order, but that's probably my top 5 comedies. Like really, I really like that movie.
Is it on HBO Max? Mm-hmm. I feel like it was on there and I started, I'm like, ooh, I saw it and I immediately.
Probably because of me. Yeah. So that again, 2 Utes. To what? You. Oh, I'm sorry. Youths. Anyhow, so back to that beginning where they drag Emily or Madison, whoever you want to call her. When the doctor shoots Gabriel first with the dart, I'm glad she knows how to use a gun. Now, granted, a rifle it's kind of like any gun, point and shoot, pull the trigger, but like possibly have no experience at all and just. And she's not even like this, like aiming down the iron sight. She just like at the hip, just Rambo. So yeah, Rambo. She's obviously a not a city slicker, a
six shooter.
Well, like yeah, because when they'd have those
quick draw,
yeah. What was that movie, The Quick and the Dead?
Yeah,
that movie's really good too. That quick scene where the head blows through and
we should have watched that movie instead.
Yeah.
Well, so anyway, so the movie starts and it's kind of terrible, I guess. Yeah. Like, they don't sound good. Mm-hmm. And like, we're going to have to cut it out. And just even that other doctor sounded kind of wooden and weird to me. At least to me. I don't know what was going on.
Sure. I mean, you're eating up the last of that ramen and flicking it off your belly in between your hairs.
I just grabbed the one strand that fell on my chest and I just
don't get in mayonnaise and then you eat it.
Wrap it around my finger and
really quick. So Derek, that was the husband or whatever the fuck he was. To her, were they married? I think they. Sure. I think she. Okay, so if that was real, let's just say real life, that was happening to you. You're in your kitchen. Let's say you had that big of a house too. You had that kitchen, and you closed the door or whatever the fuck you did first, and the fridge opens. Are you gonna stick around? Or are you getting the fuck out?
Oh, when everything starts turning on and going crazy?
Yeah. Like he sees like, oh, look, that looks like my wife would be sitting here allegedly watching this TV. Light turns out. I turn it back on less than a second, like a half a second later, the bitch is gone. Like that fridge opening, I'm gone. Like, I don't care if my wife is upstairs. Like, I gotta go, babe. Like, we're both dead. Like,
hey, bitch, what's going on in the kitchen? Can you check it out for me real quick? All right, see you later.
As you're already downstairs, you're a fucking room away.
You hear the car turning.
You call her, or you're just yelling out the window, hey, babe, check it out for me, as you're driving away.
Well, I mean, that's one of my issues with the movie, because I don't understand if that's actually happening to him. I know he gets murdered, or he gets killed. But at what point did Gabriel show supernatural powers to be invisible and control? Well, I guess he control electricity.
Yeah.
But like, how does he control the physical world to like open the door?
Well, even then, like, so he was already in control of what's her face when that was happening. Because remember, he pushed her into the wall.
Yeah, but she's not invisible.
I understand that. So that does come into play later, right? When you have Keko, whatever that detective's name is, Kekoa chasing him. That if it was so easy for him, Gabriel, that is, to disappear when other people are trying to look for him and stuff like that, how come when he's running from Kekoa, he's not able to like and just blend into a shadow? You see him like like running like a fucking wacky inflatable arm.
No, running like Steven Seagal.
Loose armed
fingers.
God, he can't. That fucking guy. Did you hear he's like in Ukraine because he has, or in Russia or something like that? He's a fucking idiot because he's in here in the United States. He's wanted for. I don't remember what I read about him, but yeah, he's a piece of shit. Anyway, so that is, yes, troubling that he has not only strength, Gabriel, that is, he can apparently just disappear on whim. The couch, right? So he vanishes when he turns the light back on in the living room, and then they do a shot, an insert shot of the couch like moving a little bit. Yeah.
As if he's invisible and he's sitting and then he's getting up. So
Correct.
you see the cushion reinflate.
Correct. And then, but then again, later in the movie, he doesn't have those kind of things because why didn't he do it with that detective? Right. So that is weird. But then he also has this brute strength, which at the end of the movie, I thought was kind of silly how she's like, I had this strength the whole time. And she just lifts a fucking, she lifts a medical hospital bed that are probably 400 pounds maybe because all the moving parts in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
And she's like, ugh. And then I thought the sister, like maybe she had fucked up legs. And she's like, she gets up. I'm like, bitch, if you could have done that.
Knees.
Yeah, and they're all torn up and bloody. And she's like, it's cool.
It's like, oh, I tore my pants.
I got these from fucking Seven. Or Madewell. Derek's a good guy. Yeah, so again, going back to what you said, though, I don't know where his powers, his strength, his apparent speed, his invisibility.
I mean, if the answer is just for scares for the movie, I mean, that's fine with me. I don't care that much.
That's the thing about it, though, that I don't like about movies.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
That do shit where it's like...
I know some people don't like that, which is, hey, you're entitled to your opinion, 100%.
It's just, I think it's just...
You want to you want to maintain the reality of the universe that you created.
Make it consistent.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like suddenly, like you had said, like, oh, Gabriel's invisible. He's super quick. And well, he had the strength the whole time, I guess. But then that's another thing. If he had the strength the whole time, when he hit like a Koa, like it should have knocked him the fuck out or whatever it is. But
like, why didn't his fist go through his chest like those girls?
Oh my God. Those women, that last little bit when she was in prison from when she transformed until the end, I was like, this is ridiculous. And I still enjoyed it. But like she murdered all those women for nothing. And why were all those women also in there for, I don't know, heinous crimes maybe? Because they're all like, I could fight. And they're all going to just go fight. And some of them just get pushed into him and he just breaks their neck and do all. And like, again, he's a psychopath. He's whatever I guess you can call him, but he's straight just murdering just to murder.
Yeah.
And it's not like these women had anything to do with, taking him out of Madison's body or whatever, but Jesus Christ. Arm through the torso, breaks necks, rips throats,
breaks arms.
Yeah, breaking arms, just again, every single one of those cops like stabbed. I don't think he used a gun on any of them, but just murdered all of them. And I do like that before he leaves, throws the chair at him, and then he's like, all right, I'm out of here. Like he didn't want to go back and try to kill him. But anyway, so what things about this movie, before I have many notes, what stuff that stood out to you in this movie, like in a positive and a negative?
I mean, it's mostly negative. Like that lighting, like let's get into it. Like it's
not good.
It's not, it's just so stylized, but like to what end?
Yeah. Like
they have that quick scene in the morgue. I'm like, you're going to do a body dissection with like a tiny lamp over? Like it's so dark in there. Like what are we doing?
Like maybe if it was an actual focused light, like it was more of a spotlight, like and then they need a better light for it. But no, it's not that. It's not. It's just like a desk light. Like they just they move it over just to, and it's like the twist top, like so you could power that light on.
And then like the house is like the walls are dingy for some reason.
The outside is dingy. Like obviously Derek was really good with cleaning up.
Yeah. Like
he definitely did well for like lawn care and I don't know why I just thought of this now. I don't have a note of this. I'm sorry, but the scene where they left the police precinct where she's like, I saw the murders, I saw them happen, and they're like, yeah, whatever, crazy bitch. But like, and then it turns out she was right. And then when she's leaving with the sister, and she's obviously not in a good mental state, but she's letting her drive. I was like, why would you let her drive? Like, she's fucking nuts. And you like, you literally confirmed all this stuff. Like, this person's dead. Your sister just confirmed she visually saw all this stuff, and you're letting her fucking drive your Prius. Anyway, so I'm sorry. Lighting, inconsistent, dark just to be dark because it's a horror movie. Now, really, I get that though. The darkness kind of is spooky.
But then again, like the house is just the house because it's creepy.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't serve a function.
They could have done it in your place. Like a nice 1-bedroom, like little thing. You don't need a lot of room.
It's creepy, not sad. Like,
okay, that's valid. They could have done it in your parents' house then. There's more bedrooms. Yeah. But I think that was a pod racer. Now this is pod racing.
Annie? Little Annie?
Was that your Jar Jar or is that?
No, it's the guy with.
The flying guy, the fucking slave owner guy, the piece of shit.
Qvar. What the fuck is his name?
Ooh, I don't remember his name.
I think it starts with a Q or something like that.
Quetzalcoatl.
Guido.
Guido. Am I thinking of Oh, you know what? No, what is that? Han shot first. It was Han and whatever. He was in the Katina.
Oh, was that Guido?
No. Fuck, I don't know.
Whatever.
Okay, it doesn't matter. So, lighting, yes, very consistent. It was just there to just create an ambiance of horror, right. Like the what if, like.
But like that's the thing, like because I don't hate all his movies, but like Conjuring has the same thing, creepy house, but like actual supernatural stuff is happening, whereas this is supposed to be a like a more psychological thriller, I guess, and bloody horror at the end, but
very bloody.
But like it works better with like the Conjuring house with like the creepy cabinets and ghosts and shit coming out of that. But
well, first I need you to speak up a little bit louder because I'm looking at your waves and those got low. But I know that you're so. The thing about the lighting, as I said, there is inconsistencies, and there were.
I don't think it's inconsistent. Like it's all consistent.
Well,
but consistently terrible.
Well, to me, when I say inconsistent, I mean in a sense of like, okay, in this room, there's a light source in front of me behind you, that like her. Right now,
I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
Like her face would be darker, but then it was weird. Then she'd turn around away from the light, and she was more lit at times. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, gotcha.
But also the mood lighting of it. There's like the oranges, there's the blues, and that kind of threw me off a little bit at certain times as well. But I mean, I would say that as a negative, yes, with like the lighting, but I still did enjoy the movie. So it's like. There are these of course negative. There's these cons about things, but you can still enjoy it. Like it's like okay, I'm not gonna ever watch it again.
Oh yeah,
but like because now that
I mean, it does. The story is so nuts near the end. Like it does draw me in there.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of makes up for the beginning, but it's still
the first 3/4 of
it. But it's still I don't know.
Well, would you go into an old mental asylum at night?
Fuck no.
And
well, one, I wouldn't park that close to a 200-foot cliff.
Yeah.
With no barrier, and then just walk, nonchalant.
Conveniently, let me just like move through this gate, but she has one source of light. It's a flashlight, and somehow those records are still there. Like they didn't bother to take those with them.
Hey, let me open the first box I find and finding everything I need to find about my
sister. How did she fucking know?
I don't.
And then it was so funny because when she opened that box and I saw the VHS tapes, I was like, I swear to fucking God, if there's a working VHS like TV there or something like that.
That's what I thought. I'm like, ooh, where's she gonna get the player?
Yeah, and then she's now out of the asylum or whatever it is,
and
she's at her mom's.
Okay.
And I thought, what the fuck? But also, there's that creepy noise, and you think, oh yeah, she's dead or something, and then nope.
You just look back and I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Okay.
If I heard that shit, I'm just gonna grab that box and fucking run. Like I put that flashlight in my mouth so I can see in front of me as I'm running, holding that box. That's how I run as I'm crying.
Yeah.
But like, again, if that kitchen thing happened to me again, I'm out. Like I got kids upstairs. Kids, you're on your own. Like maybe I'll leave a gun. Like you guys know where the gun is.
No, you're turning the table over in chairs just to block their path. Just
no, I George Costanza. There's the fire, and I'm pushing everybody out of the fucking way and closing doors behind me, like Homer did at the end of the fire drill.
First one out, sir.
He puts the chair against the door, and then
shot it all the windows.
And then the next scene, they're all broken. Is there a hole in the wall too, or something like that? Yeah. Shit. Simpsons so good. So. For me, the things that stood out the most in this movie, obviously the reveal is that they were connected like that the whole time, and he's essentially walking backwards from her body. Although, was her arm switching around like that? Was it turning around to go that way?
I think it's one of the things where like he dislocated the shoulders to turn him or something. I don't know. Who gives a shit? I don't know.
Okay. So I really enjoyed that part because I was like, oh my God, like you're just seeing it. I'm glad it was like grainy quality I imagine they did that for a reason, because they might not have looked the best to have it as an actual like animatronic or whatever it was. But the lighting, just kind of the sort of silliness of it sometimes too. But that's also horror movies.
It's what he's going for. Like I get it.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean I have to like it.
Right. And I do like that.
Well, I'm sorry.
Looks okay.
No, go ahead.
Well, I like
Here's
that.
The thing. I'm just
kidding. So Derek, the husband, he's like not mutilated, but like he's the what was that? The woman, what was her role? She was the coroner or whatever. She's taking the photos. So she's like, yeah, it's like a car hit him or something like that. And they're like, it's the wife. Like this guy is like his head is like bent one way and he's just fucked up. It was her. Like, not to say that someone like a woman can't be strong or something like that, but just to think that like this woman that was pregnant, mind you, and she was also knocked unconscious, and it looks, and that door definitely got blown open, like her bedroom door.
I think they said that
There was no forced entry, is what the one detective said.
Well, no. Also, you see the door later, and it's fine, which so it's like in the dream space.
Oh yeah,
that
I
he
get
broke
you
the
right.
door down,
Yeah, I
didn't
get
actually-
you. Yeah. Okay, that makes
or
sense.
something like that. You know.
But he was, what was it? Gabriel was feeding off of the fetusi. But again, their first eyes, motive for the wife. And I was like, what the fuck are you saying? Now, don't get me wrong. I understand from a police officer's point of view, you're trying to put it together. But to think of what is that? She's in heels, 5'5", and he looked like he was at least 6 foot. Not to say someone that short can't do something like that, but again, come the fuck on. But I did immediately just like a motive. Like they're ready to just fucking throw the book at her.
We got her.
Yeah. Seeing that this was taking place in Seattle, it made me smile because they don't have an NBA basketball team. And I just felt really good. And not just Seattle.
Lakers beat the Supersonics.
Yeah. What did he do? He had a good day because he had a triple double, and he didn't have to use his.
Fucked around, shot a triple double.
Yeah.
I think he says last week though he fucked around and shot a triple double. So
he's still living off that high. He's living off that high still. I think if I was in my basketball league and I had a triple double, I think I would never let that go. Like Ed O'Neill, Al Bundy, and Married with Children, reliving the 4 touchdowns. His 4 touchdowns. Yeah, like hey son, remember that time I had a triple double? Dad, I wasn't alive yet. Yeah, but remember, I have the stats. I have. Let me show you that JPEG photo. I have. So, but I don't. Have you been to Seattle?
No.
It sucks.
Okay.
Like it's.
Did you know about that Seattle Underground tour?
Mm-hmm. So that's my next note. Is I've been on that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Does it look fun?
Well, I don't know if it's that exact one that they're doing, but
was the lighting better in that one?
Yeah, and they didn't light it with just floodlights. So I went on that. I think I have a photo of me there still. I was wearing a pea coat and like a beanie. Because remember many years ago, I was really into that beanie look, and I'd have like my hair sticking out the bottom of it. I'm not into that anymore, but because I don't have the hair for it. As in, I don't grow it like that anymore. But it was fun. It was more information than it was like spooky. It wasn't supposed to be spooky though. It was just supposed to be like, oh, this is what they use for this, blah 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 blah. And it was cool. Like there are certain points you can look up and you can see people walking by because there's certain parts of the sidewalk that had just like a thick piece of glass, and they use that, from what I remember, they use that to like to know where they were or something like that. But it was cool just to see all the stuff that was there, and it's like an hour tour, give or take. So from what I remember, it was enjoyable, but I was like 22 when I did that, so it's been a while. But what I was going to say about Seattle is it sucks, but it's very refreshing. Like the air is just super, super crisp, and it's nice. And compared to this smog shithole of Southern California, but I would still suggest it because there are a few things there that are cool, but don't like do a one and done. Like, you know what I mean? Like Portland is a numerous trip kind of thing because I like Portland. I like the food. And there's an Adidas factory outlet there, which is great. Yeah. Didn't I tell you that time when I came back and I had like $400 worth of Adidas shit?
Yeah.
I was like, fucking A, here we go. Like I had to leave the boxes for the shoes there because I had to just cram my shoes in the bag. I came back with like 3 pairs of shoes, a whole bunch of sweaters. I think I still have some of that stuff too. Anyway.
Never worn.
No. There's actually quite a few of Adidas shirts that I have that are just a little too long that I just need to get them like hemmed. Yeah. Because the sleeves I could just roll. But
well, it's where you put your cigarettes.
Yeah, of course. Cigarettes, my blunts, and my knives.
Yeah.
And my used needles. So this movie, I
yeah, it's weird, right? Because I don't hate it.
Yeah.
It's just stupid.
This movie's like stupid.
Well, because I just watched that Barbarian movie, which for some reason seemed to have like...
Who's in it?
I don't know the girl's name. Bill Skarsgård's in it for like 10 minutes. The guy who played It.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. One of the younger Skarsgård. The youngest Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Is it Skarsgård or Skarsgård?
Skarsgård.
Okay, yeah.
Skarsgård. Yeah.
It's Skarsgård, yeah.
So that one had like similar hype to it, and that one goes bonkers too. Like that one goes like super. Oh, and Justin Long's in it too.
You know, I used to not really like him, and something I
Plays a super douche. So if you don't like him, it'll.
Well, that's the thing. So there, I forgot what movie it was. Was it Zack and Miri Make a Porno or something like that? And he's like, hello, my name. And I fucking loved his character in that, even though he was kind of a douchebag. But I was really for it, and because of that, I was like, okay, I like him. I hated him in Dodgeball. I know, and I love Dodgeball the movie, but there's so many movies I just don't like him in. But I think after I saw that Zack and Miri part, I was like, okay. And he seems like an okay dude from what I've heard about him, like a cool guy. It's just that like I just haven't liked him. It's like Jesse Eisenberg. Hated him for the longest time. And then I saw The Art of Self-Defense. I'm like, all right. But he always plays kind of that same kind of Weasley character, like little wiener. But like I was down for that. And yeah, but anyway, so you saw Barbarian.
Yeah, but
bonkers.
It's and maybe it's just like the budget, like they had to just be more like a smaller budget. They just have to be more innovative or something like that.
Yeah.
Because that movie just goes off the fucking rails too.
Is it a horror?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Similar with Hereditary. Like Hereditary.
I wouldn't say that goes like
what?
Hold on. Let me finish my statement.
Let me unball my fist.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me line up my ladies first, and then like I don't think that it builds up to it. Yeah. You know, it's not like it's out of nowhere. So Hereditary is like it's building up the insanity, building up the crazy, building up what's going on. And then when it truly happens, it's kind of like, oh my God, like the naked people are smiling, like that's fucking freaky deaky. Then you got the mom in the corner, like that's like, oh my God, like that. Still right now, I have goosebumps a little bit thinking that. And she's chasing him and stuff like that. And he's like, mommy, like that's heartbreaking, but also like fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But when certain things happen in this movie, in Malignant, like it was like, again, even when for the first reveal, it's like, what the fuck? Like to think of that. And there's no full setup for it besides the fact that she's seeing these visions and shit and she doesn't know why. In certain characters, like it just got silly, but again, you can't.
I think that's what it is. It's the silly.
Sure.
Well, you know what, Bob? It's like the silly with a $30 million budget or whatever. Like it's too pretty.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely too pretty. I know what you mean by that. It was
that
too sharp,
crazy or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is also weird to say because Hereditary, obviously the budget wasn't that much, but Hereditary is pretty too. But it just has like a more lived-in feel as opposed to this, which just looks like a James Wan horror movie set. Creepy house, a bunch of bare fucking bulbs that are 1,000 lumens for some reason, but still not light in the face properly, like you said.
Yeah.
And just going bonkers for bonkers' sake.
Or no,
which is fun and I guess kind of fun. It's funny, like I almost saw it because I had heard this was super violent, like in the build up to it.
Yeah.
But the first couple murders actually aren't that violent.
No, they sort of don't show it.
Sort of don't show it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that's what everyone was talking about. So when it gets to the end, that's where it gets like super violent. I'm like, okay, but it's like I don't know. I don't just
yeah, like when Gabriel was bludgeoning the doctor in the kitchen or whatever. I was like, why are they cutting away? Yeah. Or when he slices up that one dude in the bed, they pretty much show that one.
Right.
But I was like, okay, maybe they're not really showing, and they're just building up to the whole fucking. I just thought, oh, that was cool. I put my hand in front of the microphone, and that was fun. I don't know if you hear that. Anyway,
but as opposed to like once again like Hereditary or Midsommar, where you see the violence, or like Bone Tomahawk or something like that, where it's like crazy violence. I'm like, oh, and it makes you like sit back in your seat a little bit, like, oh my God, that is disgusting.
Yeah, disgustingly hot.
Yeah,
like you got aroused too, right?
Right. Well,
okay, yeah,
constantly
half mass all movie. So my note here, I need to stop saying when you said 1,000 lumens for the light, I would say it's the other way. I would say it was like a 60 watt bulb, but then it looked like it was 1,000 watt is what it is. It's like, oh, so you have those lamps that not only have the shade around them, but then it's as if someone holds a spotlight right to her face. And it's like, okay, well, that doesn't really work. But I would agree that this movie was too good looking. It was too sharp. It was like crisp. And that's an issue. Hereditary, though, I didn't feel that because I felt like, I don't know if they shot Hereditary on digital. I'm sure they did for costs, but like it had a different style to it. It did
100%.
It almost had a film look. Well, this movie, James Wan's, looks digital. Like it's so sharp.
Yes.
It's so good quality that's an issue that I have sometimes when I watch like short films and everything, because they all look so sharp. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not, but there's certain movies that I would think would just have a slightly different look and feel for them, but depending on what it is. So like if you're doing a comedy and it looked like this, perfectly fine. But you're doing a horror. So to me, I'd want to have a little more grain to my stuff, a little more noise to my shots, just a smidge. So that way it kind of, you can use that to your advantage like he does do with the darkness. But that's so good quality video that it's like you see everything no matter what anyway. And I don't know why I just thought of this. That the coroner girl, I'm so glad she didn't die. Like I was like, oh, she's gonna fucking die because like coming to get his like, you know, his jacket and all that stuff. But I'm so glad that she hid and she wasn't killed because she was kind of silly too. He's like, oh, he said like the line in the kitchen, and she's like, don't we all? Like he's like, we gotta find our you know, our partner or whatever. She's like, don't. And again, Wanda Sykes gave her a dirty look. So there's no computers, barely any computers in that police station. I don't know what the fuck that was about. It's like they all have flat desks and there's like one computer for every 5 officers. It's like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, that's another thing. Like that place was dark as hell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see the police, the lights from the car, the outside, like blinking green and red.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, blue and red.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Well,
it's just so much. It's just, I don't know why it just bothered me so much. But
you
just
would
so much style. Like
one of those cops
no fucking
would
reason.
get some shots off on her, and a few, and none of them hit her. But then the one guy gets her. Which what happened with that? He shot her. Let's say midsection, so she could be bleeding out. But then she transforms back into herself. She's like, I'm cool. Hey, like I just relocated my shoulder, and everything's good now. That bullet wound that I had doesn't exist anymore because that was Gabriel's body.
Yeah, Gabriel got shot.
So once she switches back to Gabriel, if it ever does,
when you shoot her in the back, it's Gabriel. When you shoot her in the front, it's
her. Yeah. So it's okay.
Yeah.
What else do I have here? That was a very nice bathroom for the police station, where she's like very delicately like rinsing her face.
Oh.
And there's like 2 stalls in that bathroom, and it was just very nice in there. And then I think Gabriel called her for the first time, like, you can't get rid of me or whatever the fuck. Oh dear. I wouldn't let this lady drive. He looks up the doctor's address online and just, oh, here he is. Like found exactly where his personal address. Now, granted, he's a cop, so sure, but still, I was kind of like, it looked like he just Google searched. What else do I have?
Also, like initially I thought, is this guy staying in a hotel? What is going on?
The second guy, yeah. Because so with that light, I was like, okay, but then I was like, that's a nice closet for
like I thought it would like flash red and say like, you know, no vacancy or something.
Or live nudes, something like that. What else is it?
Which makes me think like, is that just for the poster so she can have the red face with the knife to her head?
Oh yeah, maybe. It's so when he's chasing her now, I said first things first. Call for backup.
That was very 7-ish, right?
Yeah,
like Brad Pitt chasing
Chasing Kevin. Yeah, what'd they call him in that?
John Doe.
John Doe, yeah, right. Because they never said his name.
Correct.
Okay. I said first things first, call for backup. Second, I ain't doing all that chasing. Like that's a lot of running. He's going into places where he doesn't know he's going into. Like that thing could have been waiting as he put his legs through and just starts chopping him up, or doing something.
Like Green Room, when he sticks his hand through the lock and they're just stabbing his hand, and he gets.
I thought they were hitting his hand. I thought they were. Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, they're stabbing him with knives.
Well, it's just like in Green Room too, when the guy the security guard opens the door, he just whoosh, hits him with like the bat right across the face. Did that guy die? I don't remember if he died.
I don't remember.
I don't know. Like you're going into the unknown, and it's dark. Like when he went leg first in that thing, and then he pulls out his flashlight again. The thing could have been right there in front of him, and just stab right. But I guess for the sake of it, they wanted to have a chase in this movie, and then that led to nothing either. They fought a little bit in that underground, like the old Seattle underground, and then Gabriel like climbs up all this shit and climbs upwards reverse through a hole in the ceiling. And I was thinking, okay, so
that's right, because I thought he was going to find the lady down there.
Yeah,
but it was that what
turns out she just walked through fell off a stud and fell through the whole ceiling and fell straight down. Although I did like that shot where it was above her and she was going through the house and she went up the stairs and she went and closed that door. Remember how she, I think she was gonna close all her doors. But then the one door is open. She's like, and then so she ran and had that above, like, over the head view, and I really like that. That was
like the cool. Tarantino does that one.
Yeah. I like that shot.
Spielberg in Minority Report.
That I don't remember. Yeah. I should watch that movie again too. Does he get his eyes back?
No.
Is he just blind for the rest of his life?
No, he gets other people. He gets bootleg eyes.
Oh, that's what I mean. But he gets eyes. He gets.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't remember. There's
counterfeit eyes. I don't know what they call.
Okay, so when the sister is calling about that hospital.
Black market eyes. That's what I was looking for. Go ahead.
Thanks. She's calling about that hospital. Like, oh, can't you tell me anything? Yeah, no, they were shut down and this. So she's giving the sister this vital information, which I don't think she should be doing that in the first place. She doesn't even say bye, and she just hangs up on the people. I fucking hate that. Like, when I'm done with the call,
She's on a mission, man.
I understand
Save
that.
her sister.
Doesn't mean you can't say bye and be courteous, you fucking bitch. But like, that's just how I mean. I just like to say, I'll say bye, see ya, fuck off, something just to end the call.
Okay, love you, bye.
Okay, love you, bye. Is that from fucking Pinky and the Brain?
Yes.
Or
I don't know.
it was one of those old ones with
with the little baby.
yeah. Okay, I love you, bye. And I'm too old.
With the little skull. What was her name?
It was it with the cat? I think the cat was the one saving her or something like that.
I don't remember.
Mittens and Mandy or
No.
Okay, I'll have to look it up at a different time. Twin shit is fucked. What else do I have? All these women murders. Oh yeah, so in the jail where they're all just getting killed. Then my next note is this is ridiculous. And then so much screaming. Oh yeah, so I don't know how I didn't think of this before, but like there's so many scenes where Madison is screaming, somebody screaming, but then obviously some of that stuff she's not physically there, but there's a lot of screaming in this. Like some might even say too much. But my last note is it was always me. Like when she said she had the strength, I just think that was super silly. But anyway, what else do you have to say about this movie?
That's it. Like I kind of hated it.
Yeah.
But then near the end, it gets kind of engrossing. So it's effective, I guess, in that regard. But I don't know what it is. Like this style of horror just doesn't do it for me. I don't know.
Doesn't get your rocks off.
Doesn't get my juices flowing.
Yeah. I mean, you climax, but it's like a hate climax, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when you have that post clarity after orgasm. It's like you realize you're watching some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I just hate myself.
Yeah, I gotta close this shit out. Like I don't if like
get my shit together.
Yeah. If my parents walked in right now and saw this, and they're gonna see some fucked up shit. So
they're gonna respect me even less.
Yeah, because there's none.
Yeah.
I would say this movie, as I've said a few times, and again, it's oddly enjoyable in a sense of like it's unique.
I mean, that's what I didn't understand either. Like it's like a 76% on like Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, what? This piece of shit?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's not a piece of shit. It's campy and it's fun for a reason. But
how did this get made? The podcast I listen to occasionally, they watch this, so I'm going to listen to their thing and hear what they say about it too. But again, they watch movies that are, I guess you could say bad, like they're like B, D movies and stuff like that. But they watched it, and I think it was last year. So I'm going to listen to their thing and see. Like, again, there's many things about this movie that can be pointed out. Where you and I are not in the industry, like we're very much on the outside. But like we know, I would say we know enough to look at certain things like, oh, like lighting and stuff like that to just, what is this shit? But I would also say that when we are watching movies, we're not watching them because they're shitty. We're just watching movies because this movie ended up being essentially shitty but enjoyable. But like we're watching movies just for the sake of what we know is good or what people are suggesting for us. But I would say this movie was shitty, but I liked it. And never watch it again because I would never, just like Sixth Sense and stuff like that. When you have like a certain twist.
Wait, you comparing this to
No.
Sixth Sense?
I'm just saying in the sense like once you find out that twist, I wouldn't watch it again. Like it's Sixth Sense is a great movie. Unbreakable is a great movie. Lady in the Water is absolute garbage. But like there's movies that have twists that you just once you know it, there's no point in going back. I thought of another movie that had the twist. An Old Boy. Like I would never watch that again. Like great, the Japanese version was great. The
Korean.
Was it Korean? I could. Okay, well, I guess I'm just racist. But like Spike Lee made the newer version, this is the exact same movie, but like I couldn't watch it. And I was gonna say Gary Oldman. I'm sorry. I like Josh
Brolin.
Yeah, a lot. But I think Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it, like just she is by far the superior Olsen.
Oh, cool.
Like Mary-Kate and Ashley, they had their prime when they were fucking 12 max, and they're set for the rest of their lives. Now they're kind of weird and funny looking, but like Elizabeth, like she by far is the superior in all of it. She's done more versatile movies. She is a versatile actor. Like she could do comedy. She's doing her Marvel movie. Like she just, she's great.
Yeah, but that's like they're they were so young.
I know, and
Like,
it's not
how
exactly
would they
fair.
be,
Yeah.
or how would Elizabeth have done if she was thrown into that situation? Being
Yeah.
young?
Well, her parents loved her, so it's just because they're cousins, right? They're not sisters.
What?
I thought they were cousins.
No, they're sisters.
Are you sure?
100%. They're
Well,
like,
then-
the third Olsen sister.
Oh man, but she's only like a few years younger. Cause I think she's just a smidge younger than me. Because Mary Kate and Ashley are my age,
Okay.
and so I think Elizabeth is like 30.
30. Okay.
Yeah, but she looks taller than them too, by far. Because Mary Kate and Ashley are like maybe 5'1", and Elizabeth looks like she's like 5'6". I could look this stuff up. Not like it matters. So anyway,
Looks like she's 5'6". What does that even mean? You've only seen her on a movie screen.
I see her
you
standing next to
fucking
people. You fucking fuck. Like when she's standing next to, I was gonna say Jeremy Piven, but I was gonna say
Renner?
Yeah, Jeremy Renner. Like he's also looks like a short guy too. Like he looks like he's maybe 5'9". But like Tom Cruise, everybody knows is little. Like he's shorter than me, but he wears risers, or he has risers in his shoes, so he's 5'8" maybe on a good day when he's wearing his boots. But anyway, so this movie, would you actually recommend for people to watch it?
No, but I mean, if they did, they could do worse things.
Like what? Watch Godfather 3?
I don't know.
That movie sucks.
Stab somebody with a broken trophy?
Yeah. And then that you fasten yourself though, like you
There's not even a handle. How does he even?
he's holding it like a sai, like Raphael holds his. Like he doesn't hold it by the handles, he holds it by like
He's holding it like an old timey cork bottle.
yeah,
or,
yeah.
Wine bottle.
Yeah, wine
opener.
bottle. Yeah, like because he
Through
broke
the hand.
He broke off because it was supposed to be like a knife for like surgery, and so there's like that metal wrapped around it. He broke that off with a hammer, and then he filed down other parts. So yeah, he made it like a sai, like so again he can grip it. But then if you really think about it, you don't have a lot of leverage with something like that.
How does his hands
Yeah,
fit
it's
around?
well, I think it had like a circular.
How wide? The blade looked wide. That's what I'm
Yeah, but I
saying.
think at the base of the blade, there was like a little. It wasn't a blade all the way down. If it was blade all the way down, you can't use that because it would not only girth out, but like you'd have to hold it like this. I'm holding it with two hands, so you guys can't see it. But I would say though, I would not recommend this movie either. But again, if someone's like, "Hey, I'm gonna watch *Malignant*," like, is it good? I'm like, yeah, it's good. It's shitty. It's a shitty good movie. And
Well, I feel like I just always have the same excuse or same response when someone asks, like even like when we used to work at the Blockbusters, like everyone's like, "Oh, you should watch a horror movie." I'm like, I don't know, man, just watch the fucking Exorcist. Like it's the best one. Like why do any other stupid thing?
hey, should I watch the horror movie? I'm like, motherfucker, I don't know. If it's not Terminator 2 or True Lies, like, figure it out. They made another Eraser? Did you know that?
Ooh, no.
It's called Eraser Reborn. It's not Arnold though.
That's the gun?
Oh, I wish the rail gun.
Yeah.
Guys are getting launched like 20 feet back. No, but
But any alligators in it?
I hope
Crocodiles?
because they're luggage. But it's on HBO Max and it's called Eraser Reborn.
Who is it?
I don't. Nobody's.
Dolph?
No. If he dies, he dies. No, it's a younger guy, and but it was on your thing. So either your parents are watching it or somebody was watching it. Because when I went to it to just see what it was about, I was like, that can't be Eraser like Arnold Eraser, but it 100% was. Like the first sentence is like, FBI like Eraser, John Kimball, I don't remember his name. Is at it again. I was like, who wrote this shit? Like 1994, like he's back at his old tricks.
I hope it's an American guy, so he has to do a shitty Austrian accent.
I know, right? We gotta go do it. Fuck. You've been erased. Your luggage. But yeah, it's on there. Eraser Reborn. So I'll probably tell my dad about it because him being the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I think he's on my account, so he's probably
no,
the
he
one
is
who watched
not.
it.
He's fucking not. You're gonna see previously watched, and it's gonna be like 8 straight Arnold movies, and then somehow
Twins.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Ugh. Red Sonja. What was the one where he was a Soviet? Was that Red Heat? Or like something heat. He's it was really bad. He's like cocaine when he finds the cocaine in the leg. But yeah, anytime that like I talk to my dad, I'll hear in the background like he's watching a Marvel movie.
Down. Oh.
No, it's like a Marvel movie, Joe Coy, or just fucking something. I'm like, Dad, can you fucking at least like expand your repertoire? Watch fucking a DC movie. Watch the new Justice League or something. But it's always Marvel, Joe Coy, an Arnold movie,
I mean,
Or-
speaking of, like, it sounds like I'm just shitting on James Wan. Probably because I just hate most of the movies. But
Sure. The first Saw was perfectly fine.
first Saw, Conjuring is good. Conjuring is a good movie.
Okay.
But I never watched Aquaman.
That wasn't bad.
But when I saw like clips of it, it looked like the worst fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was not bad.
It looked terrible.
Yeah, terrible. It was not bad.
She looked terrible. That
Oh,
hair looked terrible.
that terrible. The hair, red, bright hair. Amber Heard. Now, not just say. Let's take away the court, all that stuff. She was horrible already.
Okay.
Like I did not like her. And then obviously finding certain things out about her and Johnny Depp when they're both shitty people.
Yeah.
But like he came out looking a little better, I guess. But she is by far the worst part of that movie because it also has.
But like who?
Nicole Kidman.
I don't want to get into it now.
Really quick, it had Nicole Kidman. It had the guy that was the Jango Fett. I always forget his name, but he was like the dad in the movie. And then it also had Willem Dafoe. It had good people in it. It's just that and Momoa did fine. Like again, it all worked.
Do they talk while they're underwater?
Yeah,
The little bubbles.
while they're under the sea. No, because they could do that because they had.
Aquaman, dun, 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 dun. Aquaman, dun, 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 dun. Here is Amber Heard. She really sucks. It's hard to. Anyway.
Okay, you try. And then you see a flounder flying by and some kind of crab, and they just crush it. So, but it wasn't bad. But again, Amber Heard's scenes were a little rough because she's not a good actor in the slightest. But whatever, to each their own. But they did make the second one. The second one's done, and James Wan I think did that one too. But it's just it kept getting pushed out. Obviously the stuff with Amber Heard, and then you hear that they're trying to cut her shit out of it, and they're like, no, that didn't happen. But I'll still give it a chance since I like the first one. I'll watch the second one, and just to see. But here's a fun spoiler for everybody about Black Adam.
It's terrible.
No, I've read good things about it.
Okay.
But at the end, are you going to see it?
Fuck no.
Okay. So at the end of it, Henry Cavill is back apparently as Superman because there's a lot of that talk like he's not going to. That was Superman theme from the original 80s.
I think that was in key though. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, you're not even. So, but yeah, apparently Superman comes back. So Henry Cavill is Superman in that because
Mustache or no digital?
hopefully
clean
not.
face.
I hope he has stubble because he's a good looking dude.
He's so handsome.
He's a good, and he's in his 30s. Like he is ridiculous. No, I'm just mean in a sense of like I'm comparing and contrasting of our lives
of
and
us
like
versus
of him. Yeah, and not only is he a gamer,
It's a terrible idea. But
he's a good looking dude. He can grow a good beard. He is a very hairy man too.
Yeah.
I don't like the hairiness, like, but he's
I'm all about it. Like
oof.
shirtless.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? The first one where he's shirtless, chopping wood,
Man of Steel. Yeah.
or is he tearing wood? No, that's
Captain America.
That's Captain America.
Yeah, he's get the angly.
I mean, if you compare the two
Okay.
doing their wood chopping or their woodworking,
Mm-hmm.
like
Well,
his is
Superman,
better.
because he was actually using an axe because he didn't want people to find out that he was like super strong, but he's just butchering every piece of wood.
He's barely. he's
He's using a hatchet, just a hand hatchet, just
It's like
shattering it.
artillery in the Battle of the Bull, just trees just shredding,
Yeah. Or he's using
exploding.
a butter knife to just cut him all in half. But like, but
Although Captain America in what's the first one? Infinity Wars?
no, Winter Soldier.
No. The first, sorry, of the two, Endgame and Infinity Wars.
No,
last
Infinity
Avengers.
Wars Endgame.
That's what I'm saying, but it's just those two.
Yeah.
That first one, he has a beard, right? Captain America.
Yeah.
And then he shaves
Shaves
it for
it
Endgame.
for a second one, yeah.
Like he looks pretty good with the beard.
He
too.
does. Chris Evans is a good looking dude. All those Chris's, even Pratt to an extent, good looking dudes. Like I'd fuck them all. If I was into that, I'd fuck them all.
But I don't think they compare to Henry Cavill.
So
He's British, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he has that above them because he's British. And then the other,
See, I don't like. I mean, I fall victim to it myself.
the British, the
Yeah.
accent.
Men and women.
Okay, yeah, of
But I
course.
mean, like you automatically get like 3 points of hotness just for having a stupid accent.
I don't go on a point system. My system is based on erect penis. So depending on
the
how hard I
points are
get,
inches of erectness.
and there's only 5 points.
Maximum 4.5 points. If you put the bushback.
And if I'm wearing loose clothes, if I'm wearing jeans, you're only getting like 3.5.
You stick your pelvis forward. That's 4 3/4.
If I clip back the pubes, and I push down at the base. You gotta
Lean forward. Max 3
You gotta-
5/8 points.
You gotta push down the man mound just a little bit, so you get a little more dick.
It's like I have fewer and fewer points.
So you get max 5 points. You got a point for every inch. But yeah, British, Australian, those accents you definitely get a bigger thumbs up for me. Like Rose Byrne, other celebrities like with an accent and stuff like that, it's just better. But Chris Pine though, out of all the Chris's, I still think like Chris Pine is.
I think
it's those eyes.
I think it's the ruggediness.
Yeah.
Ruggitude.
Rockitude, yeah. Unfortunately, he's in the DC universe, so that sucks.
Ah.
But yeah, he's in part of Wonder Woman. Anyhow, so Malignant is the movie we watched, and Mike and I both agree that it was a shitty, good movie, I guess. Shitty, entertaining movie.
All right.
In the next movie we're going to watch, it's the same one we talked about before. So this movie is, from what I hear, is quite scary, but in a good way. Like just super spooky, a lot of good acting. A lot of violence to it, and so we're going to be watching Hocus Pocus 2, and it's available on Disney Plus. I have heard things that are just some parts like I've heard it not good, but I've read other reviews where it's like nostalgia. It's pretty much the same movie, whatever the fuck, but like out of respect from watching the original classic, I guess you could say, we'll watch this one. I was going to suggest Hellraiser 2, Hellraiser Harder, but
that's also the thing. Like, we're not batting very good with the horror movies. Like, it's a good thing we've watched Hereditary, because otherwise we'd be like 0-4 with quality of horror movies.
Well,
that being said, like, people like Hellraiser. We just didn't enjoy it, but it's a whole thing.
We watched Hereditary, Hellraiser, Malignant. What you said 4? Would it be Hocus Pocus?
Well, yeah, okay, maybe we haven't watched that many, but I'm saying just we haven't really liked the horror movies that we've reviewed.
And
so
you
far.
typically like the horror genre. It seems like you'll watch those movies. Like you don't invite me to watch those movies, and because they're typically not my watch. I'm drama, action, comedy, but in animation. But it's
like I said, because I just watched Barbarian. I want to see that Rated X and Pearl.
Yeah, I think it's Pearl then X, right? Or is it X then Pearl?
I think it's X first and then Pearl.
But I found out they filmed that second one like secretly, which I thought that was kind of cool.
That's cool.
Like they didn't get the they just fucking did it because they're there. Like fuck it.
Just because I hear good things, so that's why I want to watch them. But.
Yeah, and So Hocus Pocus 2 is the next movie. And the next episode is going to be a day before Halloween because Halloween is on a Monday. Yeah. So this will line up perfectly. And if you want to suggest any movies for us to watch, there's not many episodes left for this season. We are only watching movies that we have not, neither of us, that
neither.
Okay, that's neither of the ones I said, but that we have not seen yet. So if you have any movie suggestions,
that's a good one.
Just send them our way at spectacular@gmail.com, or you can also go to our website and on social medias and suggest things. We appreciate you listening. And Mike, why don't you take us away?
We just did it. Spectacular is our show. We're watching movies that are good.